People can also be a form of distractions. Often we think of our phone or our email inbox or social media as a distraction, and it's actually true that people that you love or even people that you don't love or don't want to interact with can be very distracting. And the way that you approach this, you need to do it with care, especially if it's your family members or your friends who may not realize that they're being disruptive. People can often be the worst distractions, even when they don't intend to be. They don't realize that you're doing a lot of work to be super hyper focused when you're working on your writing projects and breaking them into different days. And it takes so long to get back on track when someone comes in and interrupts you. This is actually one of the leading complaints of employees in traditional workplaces, is how often they're getting interrupted by an actual person walking up to them. Whether it's in person, so a physical person walking into your office or disrupting your process, or whether it's a digital interruption like a person who's text messaging you, you need to try to make your sacred writing space, when you're in that focused zone of writing, a sacred place. It needs to be a place where you can't be interrupted, and very much part of a ritual. Now, is it the worst thing in the world if you do get distracted and have to get back on track? No, of course not. Sometimes there's always going to be people we want to hear from. You're waiting to hear whether someone's come out of surgery okay, or you're waiting for a very particular note from somebody, and that's not always going to be an unwelcome distraction. Or your kids are pounding on the door, and it's very hard if the babysitter had to call in sick today, and you can't really avoid those distractions. But we want to do everything possible to minimize those distractions and get your friends and family members on board with the fact that you have a focused writing ritual. So make sure your loved ones know that during particular times you need focus. You can put a sign on your office door if these other family members are home. You can tell the babysitter or the nanny that, hey, I'm going to be working in my office unless it's a true emergency. Please don't interrupt me or let the kids interrupt me. Most people will try to respect that space, and it may take some time to implement those boundaries. And it's hard with your loved ones who may just be wanting to spend time with you or to tell you a funny story when they get home from work. But building in your sacred writing time around a schedule that works well for your family and other people who may interrupt you can help with that, and giving that respect back to them if there's times that they need particular focus to do things is a good way to show that this is a mutually beneficial practice that you have. So eventually your loved ones, much like other people, your clients, where if you have paying clients or if it's a academic advisor, they will get used to it. If you have an autoresponder on your email, eventually the people seeing that will get used to it and know that you only check email once or twice a day. And your family members will eventually get used to it as well. They might know that your phone is always on airplane mode between 9 and 10 a.m. because that's your special writing time, and you'll get back to them, So when you have your loved ones on board, it's a lot easier